This is breaking news from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.
Both events were reported as disturbances in the 3200 block of La Barca Lane. The first call took place at 7:48 a.m. and the second call took place at 10:24 a.m. You can see the scene to my left. The officer involved in this incident is Officer Christian Espinoza Ramirez. He is a 32-year-old and has been employed by the LVMPD since 2020. He is assigned to the Community Safety Division and assigned to Southeast Area Command. Officer Espinoza Ramirez's weapon was a Daniel Defense DDM V7 223 rifle equipped with an optic and a weapons-mounted light. The investigation revealed that he fired 2 rounds. The suspect in the officer-involved shooting is identified as Donald Eubank. He is a 65-year-old white male adult, 6 foot tall, 220 pounds. Eubank was armed with a Remington 6.62 22 caliber rifle. The rifle had 7 rounds loaded and 1 jammed inside the chamber. The second weapon was a Sig Sauer P320 9mm semi-automatic weapon. It had 15 rounds in the magazine with no round in the chamber. You can see these weapons pictured to my left. The following are Eubank's charges: 4 counts of assault on a protected person with a deadly weapon, 2 counts of assault with a deadly weapon, 1 count of resisting a public officer with a firearm, and 1 count of injury or tampering to vehicle. The details of this officer-involved shooting are as follows. On December 24th, 2024 at 7:48, LVMPD Communications received a disturbance call in the 3200 block of La Barca Lane. Details of the call said 2 brothers were involved in a verbal argument. Officers arrived and made contact with Donald Eubank and his brother. Officers learned that Donald wanted to evict his brother from the residence. As Donald's brother retrieved his personal property, officers stood by to keep the peace. Donald's brother ultimately left the scene and officers cleared from the call. At 10:24 a.m., LVMPD Communications received a second disturbance call from the same residence. The details of the second call stated that a male and his brother Donald Eubank were having a dispute over property in the residence. When the officers arrived, they contacted a male and a female who were observed retrieving personal property from inside of the residence. The female exited the residence and said that Donald had armed himself with a firearm and had threatened them with the firearm. We will now show you a video of this encounter.
Don, we're about to get involved.
Well, you do your job, get the fuck out of my house. Do your fucking job.
Huh?
He's carrying a bag of gun.
Hey, let's get you guys out. Did he break it?
Hey, do not go back inside the house. Okay, get back outside. Come over here.
Hey, did he break anybody?
I got radio. John, for the daughter of this male, they both went inside and stated that the brother inside has a .413 that he's armed with and was threatening the daughter.
Officers ordered the 2 individuals out of the area and began to contain the residence as additional officers arrived on scene. Officers attempted to establish communication with Donald, who is now believed to be alone inside the residence with a firearm. Donald exited and entered his residence multiple times on both sides of his residence during this incident. He continued to yell at our officers and refused to comply with their commands. This incident was deemed a barricade, and LVMPD SWAT and crisis negotiators were requested to respond to the scene. While waiting for SWAT to arrive, Donald exited the residence armed with a large knife and punctured the tires and broke the rear window of an LVMPD patrol vehicle that was parked in the driveway. We will now show you a video where the officers deployed less lethal beanbag rounds and sent canine towards Donald, but he re-enters the residence prior to contact with that canine.
Door.
On this side, on this side, on this side.
I can't see it. I've had. Just had. Can we see him on this side? Move in here, move in here. Back inside, back inside. Back left, right, back right.
Here.
Prior to SWAT's arrival, Donald again exits the residence armed with a long gun and points it towards the officers. Officer Espinoza Ramirez fires his weapon at Donald but does not strike him, and Donald goes back inside the residence. We're going to show you Officer Espinoza Ramirez's body-worn camera of the OIS. The video starts with the low-lethal rounds being deployed, and pay close attention. The audio and the actual shooting is not captured because the view is obstructed by a vehicle.
Yeah. Cover your ears when he comes out, okay? If he picks up the gun and points it at us, just let you know, man. I don't want to hurt you.
John, please, go! He's got a gun. Don't point it! Run!
Shortly after Officer Ramirez fires his rounds, LVMPD SWAT and crisis negotiators arrive on scene. When Donald exits the residence again, SWAT officers simultaneously deploy the electronic control device, a distract device, a 40mm specialty impact tool, and a K9. SWAT operators will move up, and we're able to take Donald into custody safely. We'll show you the video from the LVMPD area unit of him being taken into custody by SWAT.
We'll have that dog get back inside that house. So we can confirm he's on fire before we send the dog. That's the firm LT. Yep, Bird knows that if they got a decent lockup on him to hold him to get the dog on him, that's the only way they're going to send him. Door's open. Security gate is open. He has a white t-shirt on now. You can move in the towel. Hands are free, clear. Chip, hit him out. Chip, hit him out. Hey, we got to move off. Get a fire left hand. He's locked up. He's got locked up still. He's locked up. You do cats moving up. Hey, we're coming through. Shield that door. Shield that door. Marco, hold the door. We're taking him into custody right now. Hold the radio.
After being taken into custody, Donald was transported to a local hospital where he was treated and released for minor injuries and booked into the Clark County Detention Center for his charges. This concludes my brief. Are there any questions? That was the taser. All right, thank you.
You've been watching Breaking News from the Las Vegas Review-Journal, sponsored by Michael Gaughan's South Point Hotel, Casino, and Spa.